Yo, welcome to Fast Forward Mindset Motivational Podcast. I'm your host, Coach James. This is where we rewire your thoughts, reset your mindset, and fast forward your life. No more rewinding, just discipline, motivation, and the truth you need to become unstoppable. If you're ready to elevate your mindset and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. So, y'all, my NBA predictions are coming down to fruition for is who I picked to be in the East Coast Finals and the West Coast Finals. And I will tell you, the teams that I did pick is there. So I'm not happy with myself because usually I make really good predictions, but I'm excited that I did pick those teams and they are there. So, anyways, though, y'all, welcome to Call to Action Thursday. Always remember to hit that follow button. When you hit the follow button, you never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. So, y'all, I got a good friend, and my good friend just went through a whirlwind of life cycle changes, all in the matter of days. When I say days, days. So, he bought a house that was going great. You know, he picked a house that he wanted with everything that he felt like he needed to make that his home. And so, I mean, he did a little bit of soul searching to find the house, but he did find the house, and the one he found, he fell in love with it. And so he purchased it. So all in the matter of purchasing a home, he gets a letter or a 30-day notice from his job that he's being laid off. And luckily for him, he got laid off after the house got finalized, right? So we all know that if you get laid off in the process of searching for a home or trying to buy a home, if you don't have stable employment, there is no way a mortgage company is going to approve you. But luckily for him, he had already had the loan approved. It was just the rest, the closing and everything that had to take place in the process of him being told he's losing his job. Now, him losing his job wasn't the worst thing ever because there was some severance pay and some other things that benefited him so he wouldn't just be butt out, right? And I should say assed out, right? And so it just made things a little bit easier. It wasn't an easy situation for him to understand, but it made things a little bit more manageable knowing that there was severance pay for him. So he bought a house, got laid off from work. And the third thing is his daughter got thrown back in jail. She was out for a little bit. She was trying to change her life around and do what's right and trying to really follow the book that's planned out for her. And when I say planned out for her for is her changing her life around and trying to be a good person in society. And so, sometimes it feels like when we trying to do the right thing, the wrong things start to happen as well. And that was just one of those scenarios. But however, I will say this, if you do the crime, you must do the time. So you can't think you can cheat the system and get away with something and things are just going to go away like fairy dust because it just doesn't work that way. At least not how I know it to work. And so my buddy had all those things happen in 1 month. And so he asked me, James, how do I celebrate my victories and my losses right now? Feel like that they're outweighing my victories. And I kind of definitely understood where he was coming from. Now, I didn't feel the emotion that he was feeling, but I understood where he was coming from with all the things that he had going on. And I can understand why he would ask that question. How can I celebrate my victories when it feels like my losses are outweighing my victories? And I want to stop and really turn that back to y'all because some of y'all that's listening can probably relate to this, to where something in your life is just going great and then you have two or three other things that just happen back to back that's not so great. And so how do we celebrate during those times where things feel like it warrants a celebration, but the things that follow doesn't warrant a celebration? And so do you celebrate, or do you go in a corner, or do you cry? Right? And it's one of those things where in that scenario, we must remember to be thankful for where we are in life. Just notice, y'all, things can always be worse than what they truly are. Things can be at a different level that can put you in a whole different predicament. And if I take his situation into scenario, less mine is being able to buy a house. Maybe he couldn't buy a house. Maybe he couldn't qualify for a house. Maybe his credit wasn't good enough, but he still had those two things happen. Laid off from work, daughter got thrown back in jail. Now you got two bad things happening, and there's no one victory to celebrate. So that's why I said things can always be worse, and we have to remember to be thankful in every moment. And in every win, be thankful for that small win. We also must show gratitude to the things in our life that is working. If you listen to my podcast, you would know I say this redundantly, that you could have 50 things in your life going great, and we allow one thing to dictate our life and make our life feels like it's misery. So we have to show gratitude to the 50 things that's going great and kind of overlook the one thing that's not the greatest. Now, I'm not saying forget about it, because I'm sure it's right in your face looking at you when you look in the mirror every day. But at the same time, instead of you celebrating that one thing that's causing you heartache, why don't you celebrate the other 50 things in your life that's going great? The more you celebrate with gratitude, the less you worry or fear you have with things that aren't going great, right? Like I said, those things are still there. I'm not saying that they're not, but show gratitude to the things that's working in your life. Last but not least, follow your faith. You know, a lot of us like to say we got faith in Jesus. A lot of us like to talk about, oh, I believe this when it comes to God. I believe that. It's easy to have faith and to walk with faith, in faith, when things in your life is going great. But the thing is that the big question is that when things in your life is rocky, when things just seem like they're going downhill, can you have that same faith? Can you still sit there and say, I'm putting all my rabbits in God's hat because I know that He's going to make my rabbits prosperous, right? And usually, in a lot of cases, it's hard for us to follow faith when things in our life just don't feel like it's working. I'm a human being. I've been there. I've done that. I know how it works. But however, I will say, y'all, even though things in your life might be tough, you have to continue to live and walk in faith, because at one point things are going to get better. But if you continue to fret over them, you continue to be upset, mad at the world, then you're not going to be you're not going to be walking in faith. You're going to be walking in misery. And you can't walk in misery today and walk in faith tomorrow. It just doesn't work that way. Your world is going to be upside down if you try to do that. So in this scenario, when you got something going on, there's three things you should focus on. Number one, be thankful. Number two, show gratitude. And then number three, follow your faith. Because faith is going to get you over the hump. I had somebody say to me one time that when things get bad in life, really bad, you can only go up from there. There's no more going down. And that's a lot of our scenarios where things just feel so bad to where it can only go uphill from now, right? It can only go up. It's not going to go down anymore. And so that is what we must be focused on. And this is your call to action Thursday. So if you're struggling right now in life with things that keep pulling you down, remember to be thankful, show gratitude, and to follow your faith. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening. I really appreciate it. If you've not followed the website, go check it out. It's www.rewirethewayouthink.com. If you've not followed the podcast, make sure you hit that follow button. When you hit the follow button, you'll never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. If you're struggling today with thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call a suicide prevention hotline at 988. I'm not hard to find, y'all. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's James Watkins at 40 and Fit Life Coach. Hey, y'all. I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, if your mindset isn't making you money, it's costing you way too much. All right, y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.